welcome to this week's edition of Shoe City Scoop. I'm your host, Mayor Bill Carpenter. We've got a great show planned this week revolving around the proposed new development of Vicente's Market in downtown Brockton. Joining me here for the first half of the show is Ward 2 City Councilor Tom Monahan and the president of Vicente's Market, Jason Barboza. Gentlemen, welcome to this week's show.
Thanks, Bill.
Glad
to be here.
It's we're all very excited about the proposal that Vicente's Market has to redevelop and reoccupy the former Star Market right in the heart of downtown at the corner of Pleasant Street and Warren Avenue. And Jason, before we talk too much about the new store, give folks listening and watching at home a little bit of insight into your family's history, particularly in Brockton, getting Vicente's Market as we know it today down on Main Street established.
Sure, Bill. First, I want to thank you for having me here today, and this is a pleasure for me to express and explain what my family has done throughout the last 20 years in Brockton. My dad started in 1994 on North Main Street, right across from the Hess gas station, with only a 2,000 square foot store, really struggling to make ends meet. Throughout the years, for the next 6 years, in year 2000, he opened up on South Main Street, where we are located right now. And then throughout the last 10, 11 years, we've been renovating and remodeling and really just growing with the community. My dad built the store for the community, and we retail this store for our community. And this has been our whole vision, our whole goal was surrounding the community, and that's why we want to expand and be able to reach out and do more for our community.
Now, you're a Brockton High graduate.
Yes, I am.
Played a little football when you were there.
Yes, I did.
Tell us a little bit your family, when your family came here to Brockton, and your experience growing up in the city.
Yeah, my dad came in 1985, and my mom came in 1984. And my dad really started back in Cape Verde, where he used to work hard. And from Cape Verde, he moved on to Portugal. From Portugal, he came into the States, and he always bought goods in the States, and he was sending back to Cape Verde and just going through that whole motion. Then he kind of just settled down and said, okay, I want to open up his own supermarket, and that's when he started in 94.
Now, in terms of what you're proposing for the new Vicente's Market in downtown Brockton, how is this concept developed? How did it start? How do we get to where you are today with it?
Well, it started off with reaching out to a developer and just really reaching out to by networking and reaching out to some of the resources. And we met with Affirmative Investments, and they came on board and kind of took the building and said, okay, how can we make the numbers work so Vicente could financially afford this building? So luckily with them, they were able to put a package together that made sense for us financially and for the current owner, well, the previous owner of the building. So he was able to put that package together.
Now, Tom, as the Ward 2 councilor, this sits right in your ward in the heart of the downtown. How did you get involved with the folks at Vicente's, and how have you been able to, because you've been a big advocate for this project all along, and I think you've been a key to Vicente's in ushering this through what can be a pretty complex process on the city side.
Yes, I've been actually trying to do something with that area since I was actually in the council, elected in 2010. I worked with B21, Mary Walden a lot, with the owner. And it seemed like every time we had something going, something else a shoe would drop, the other shoe would drop, and it would go out the window. We had a lot of work we had to do with the church across the street. They owned some property on that Vincente site. There was trying to work with the owner of the corner where McMenemy's used to be, to do some work with her. But everything was just, nothing would come into place. So when I was called in a couple of years ago by Vicente's, and to look into the financing, what they were interested in doing, their plan. I was happy, but I was also just hoping that they could get the financing to do this, because it's not a small project. A lot of things had to be done, a lot of things through planning, financing, like getting the neighborhood health center on board was a big part of it. We had to do a little zoning change, and working with Jason's been fantastic. I mean, they were a great family, great kid. Sorry to call you a kid. That's okay. But, to me you are. But it's all of a sudden coming to fruition down there. A perfect place in a perfect spot. What's going to serve the Cape Verdean Haitian community and the city of Brockton. But it's right in the middle, and obviously, like you said, you've stocked the store basically with items that will serve that community. And that's the place to go. They come from out of town. to
And,
your
and
store.
it's, for a long time, there's been no downtown supermarket. So
Right.
this is filling a big need in the city to bring a supermarket back into the downtown.
Right, and you're taking an eyesore out of that. You're coming to Brockton now down Pleasant Street, even though you can't take a right on Main, but you're coming down that way, take a right on Warren Avenue. Now that whole area is going to be beautified, nice, beautiful area. It's going to be lighted beautifully. I've seen the whole project, and there could be possibly, maybe, there's a couple of other pads on there that can be used for retail, possibly adding a police substation there. We've talked about that. That's a possibility. So there's a lot of things that in the
Could
future.
also be a bank downtown, it could be a
Bank, yeah.
fast food restaurant, there's lots of potential uses. But Tom, from your perspective as the ward councilor, you just had to allude to it, how dramatic is that impact? I mean, you're talking about an entire city block there.
Right.
Pleasant to Warren to Green. I mean, that is a large parcel that's been sitting there vacant and not necessarily always maintained properly for a long period of time. What's the potential impact of this project?
Well, it's going to be, also, there's going to be people there. There's going to be activities going on. It's going to be all lit up all around the area. So we have had problems down in that corner of Highland Street, Green Street, in that area now. But now there's going to be a lot of activity. There's going to be people coming and going all the time. So that's going to actually bring safety to that area. And the more people around there, going in and out, businesses coming in the shop, what have you, you're going to see less and less of a problem, I think, over there.
Yeah, as we look at this redevelopment of the downtown of the city, I think this becomes a really key piece of the puzzle. We're at the other end of the downtown, we're redeveloping a new government center with the new City Hall Plaza and hopefully expanding to the Liberty Bank building, there's a section. We're working on hopefully bringing to downtown a satellite college campus. That'll be a big piece of the puzzle. Trinity is a big piece of the puzzle. But I couldn't agree with the councilor more. What your development can do for the downtown of the city by revitalizing that entire Pleasant Street, Warren Avenue, Green Street neighborhood that has been problematic, that has had crime issues, that's had that vacant parcel for some time. It's not just what a great project it is you're bringing, but the impact, that positive impact that it will have on that entire area, both for public safety and investment. And I'll give you a perfect example. I approached a developer last week to see if they might be interested in redeveloping the old Lincoln School, which is sitting there city-owned, vacant, in a residential neighborhood, could make some great housing. And in the first 30 seconds of the conversation, what do I say? It's 2 blocks from where the new Vicente's project is going, the new Vicente's supermarket. So, I mean, that's now you bring in the investment around it because now you've raised the whole area. Now other people want to invest around it. So I think in terms of the downtown, this project is a potential game changer. It really is downtown. So tell us a little bit about what you've got planned to go in there. We're all excited about where you're putting it. We're glad the councilor helped you get it there.
And the city council.
And the entire council, yes.
Give him the checks, give him the tips.
Well,
just so
and
they can do that.
just to mention that briefly. So you talk about Jason being able to get the financing. A key piece of that financing was you did need some partnership with the city in terms of a tax increment financing plan.
Exactly, and we were lucky to work with the TIF out and with you in your office and the city council. They all were ecstatic, happy to do it, and getting that through, they all want that area revitalized. Right. So, I mean, and they all were happy to do it, and we voted it in, and they couldn't be happier. So, I mean, that's the city working with businesses, and I think now, as I said before, when you're having the downtown being developed, you see Trinity coming in. Now, if you're a smart businessman, you're going to say, hey, we got some automatic business coming to me over here. We got people moving in there with some money that they can spend. Jason, not that he probably did see that too, but that's perfect for him. Other businesses now downtown, like you said, the colleges, whatever coming in, all is going to come together and I'm just excited because I can see it going to happen, and you can just see it really.
Councilor, you weren't suggesting that the mayor's office and the city council worked cooperatively to help deliver that tax increment financing proposal for Vicente's market. I'm just saying.
Yes,
because we did.
It was just the city council.
But it was also Gordon Carr at B21.
Right, exactly.
It was the Downtown Brockton Association that was a supporter. It really, I think everybody
recognizes
recognizes how important this could be.
Yep,
So
the Chamber of Commerce.
before we go to our first break, though, Jason, give us a little idea. What can people expect at the new Vicente Superstore in downtown Brockton?
Sure, Bill. Well, I don't want to spoil the fun.
Well, tease us a little bit.
I'll tease you guys just a little bit. Well, we base this new store off of experience. We want our customers to come in and have a great shopping experience where it's a brand new store. Everything's going to be lit up, bigger departments, produce, meat, everything traditional that we have now. I can't say we're going to have a fish department, so I think that's a little tease that our customers can get excited about. Expanded kitchen, sit-down seating area for takeout food, and some theater within that also. And we also plan on working with the health center and doing some community events while using our parking lots. So doing some farmer market events and doing some publicities and maybe putting a stage out there and kind of just if there's something going on in the city and we need to reach out to everyone and send that message. Well, I want the supermarket to be tailor-made for that, where if there's a problem and we need to put it out there, come to Vicente's. We are the anchor. We're going to be the anchor for the city, and we want to work with the community, solve issues, send messages, communication, and bring everyone together. So,
And I think that's another great aspect to the project, and Jason, I've heard you talk about it quite a few times, and that is the fact that not only are you making a $10 million investment in downtown, but you really do take that role seriously about being a partner in the community and also, linking with services for the community, in addition to, hopefully, building a great trade at your store there. In terms of a timeline, Jason, if everything goes perfectly, do you have a rough idea when you may actually begin reconstruction, and when would that lead to that ribbon cutting that Tom and I can't wait to go to out in front of the new Vicente supermarket?
Well, right now we've come a long way. We're still wrapping up the financing, so it's tough to tell with that and how long it will take with construction.
Mm-hmm.
So we haven't. I can't give you a clear-cut idea,
Okay.
but maybe within the next year, before a year.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
So hopefully sometime in 2015,
Yes.
we'll be looking forward to the new Vicente's Market downtown.
Yes.
Now, I got to ask you, I think, we've got your market down on Main Street that's well established now. I think one of the most popular departments at that market is the prepared foods, cooked foods.
Yes.
Yeah, you've got a big following. There's often a line at the counter.
Yep.
How will we have the cooked food, prepared food section in the new Vicente's?
Yes. So when I talk about theater, that's going to be the main attraction over
Okay.
in that supermarket. Just an expanded kitchen, more selection, more
So
of what they're
expanded,
looking
a
for.
bigger and better prepared food section than
Absolutely.
even at the current Vicente's.
And somewhere
now.
where you can come and grab food and have a place to sit also.
Yeah, which could, again, as we bring, more and more people working downtown, it's another option, not just for the residents in the area. Hundreds of units of housing are going to be developed in the downtown over the next couple of years. Station lofts, Trinity, other proposals coming along. Having a supermarket walking distance away. I talk a lot about having a livable city, and I think this is going to make a big piece of making the downtown more livable. So I think it's a great project, and Tom, all kidding aside, you put a ton of work into trying to get this project to become a reality here in the city of Brockton, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a great project. Now, you do have Vicente's Tropical Market on Main Street,
Yes.
and to be clear, your plan is to keep
Yes.
the Main Street store open, so you're not closing one to open another. This isn't a true expansion in creation of new jobs in a new store.
Yes. We do not plan on closing our Main Street store. We think that there's enough business to go around for both supermarkets. And we're here not to shut down in a community to open up in another community. That wouldn't be the right message or what we do as a member of the community. We want to be able to impact both.
Right, and so it's a true expansion, it's a true creation of jobs. But we do want, in our next segment, we'll take folks for a little tour of Vicente's Tropical Supermarket on Main Street now, get a little flavor and feel of what Vicente's Supermarket is all about. Will help them probably envision what the bigger and better Vicente's is going to look like downtown. You're watching Shoe City Scoop. I'm your host, Mayor Bill Carpenter. In this segment, thanks so much to Jason Barboza and Tom Monahan for joining us. Stay tuned. In our next segment, we'll take you down to Vicente's Supermarket on Main Street right after this message.
Hi.
Hey. Hi, we're here to learn more about the Mayor's Youth Summit.
Well, you're at the right place. You're at City Hall.
Can you tell us more?
Well, there's going to be free food.
Free prizes.
And a free ride home.
Do we have to register or anything?
Well, you can register online at our Facebook page, Brockton Youth Council, or when you get there. Either way is fine.
So you're telling me free food, free snacks, and a free ride home?
Yep.
All on April 10th?
Yep. All for a chance for your voice to be heard.
You trying to go, France? I'm down. Okay, we'll be there. Awesome.
See you April 10th at the Mayor's Youth Summit!
Hey, this is Mayor Bill Carpenter inviting you to come on out for the Mayor's Youth Summit, April 10th, 2 to 7:30, in the Red Cafeteria at Brockton High School. Let your voice be heard.
Yo,
Jason, how you
good
doing?
morning.
Good
How's
to
it
see you.
going?
Good, 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 good.
Thanks for stopping by. I'm going to show you around the store, show you what we do at Vicente's, and show you different different departments that we have, different products that we carry, and any questions you have, ask away. And
Sounds great. You know, I've been here a number of times, but I think it'd be great for the viewers of the show, hearing a lot about what you're going to be developing in downtown Brockton with the new Vicente Superstore, to have a little idea of the background of your business here and what Vicente's Market is all about.
And we'll be glad to show you around. We appreciate it.
All right, show me the store.
All right, so coming into this department, we have our produce. We did a remodel here about 3 years ago. So just our apples, the oranges, and we come up with some grapes and our greens. Our greens are always fresh. We go to the market every single day to buy our produce. So we don't put our produce in a wholesaler and stick it in a warehouse where it sits for 3 days.
Yeah.
We go to the market today. My uncle's here. He wakes up 4 o'clock in the morning, buys the produce, comes down by 9 a.m. He's here, and everything's fresh, as you can see. Fresh parsley, fresh watercress, cilantro, green onions, scallions, and collard greens. Collard greens is a Cape Verdean staple, a Haitian staple, so we sell a ton of collard greens. And like you can see with the water spraying down right now, everything's always kept fresh here. So this is one of our staples.
So let me ask you, Jason, you obviously, you know, a large part of your target market is the Cape Verdean Haitian communities here in the city of Brockton.
Absolutely.
So maybe as we go through kind of being a tropical supermarket, or maybe a Caribbean supermarket is another word we could use, that you could point out some of the things that for our non-Cape Verdean, non-Haitian viewers, you know, where your store may differ a little bit than the, you know, the Stop and Shops and Shaws.
Absolutely. As we walk around, I'm going to do my best to kind of show you what makes us a little bit different from our competitors and why our customers like coming here, because we know how to cater to our community more than these other supermarkets.
And particularly, I know if you try to get in here on a Friday or a Saturday, I mean, you can't even get in the parking lot. So there's a reason why you've built up the following you have, and that you're ready to expand to a second larger store in Brockton.
That's primarily where we're listening to our customers, and they're asking us to find another location so they can come shopping here and park somewhere. So that's why we're making that investment down in Pleasant Street, to be able to accommodate our customers and provide more to the community. Now your hot sauces, which you know is huge. You have your Matsu's hot sauce. Again,
right, so that's a great example. If you look at that display, not that Shaw's doesn't carry hot sauce, but they don't have this variety and this size of inventory on hand.
Exactly, and they typically buy direct and from the wholesaler, so it's kind of difficult for your supermarkets to really carry a different mix, where being an independent and catering to the community, that's how some of our advantages.
So by being an independent, you really can target exactly what your product line is.
Exactly, and then being a big chain, there's the whole corporate structure, there's too much going on where they have to be so meticulous in what they can carry. For us, it's me and my family, and if a customer wants something, we're going to get it for them.
Yeah, sounds great. So we're here in Derry, and obviously, I mean, for folks that haven't been to Vicente's, I mean, you are very similar to what you would expect in any other typical supermarket. You know, a good percentage of this is all the same stuff. It's just the fact that some of the product lines are a little bit different, and you may tend to carry some items that the you say the big corporate box stores may not have.
Exactly. Well, we tend to have everything you can find in a typical supermarket, plus the extra that the other supermarkets don't carry, all the tropical products. And
Now, I've almost always had the feel when I come in your store that you're almost looking for that blend or hybrid between, you know, a market that we might find, you know, an old market that we might find in Cape Verde or Haiti or any other Caribbean country where people are used to shopping one way, and the big American superstore, supermarket. It almost seems like you try to incorporate elements of both.
Yes, and that's one of our strategies to accommodate everybody. You know, over here you still want to cook the way you cook at home, and as you come to America, you adapt to the culture. So you tend to eat the same as we eat here in America. So it is just like you said, it's that hybrid of having everything and making it easy for them to shop that way.
Right. Awesome. That's great. So let's keep looking around the store. Yeah.
So some of our spices and seasonings that we carry over here.
Yeah.
It's a great selection.
Yeah.
You have your garlic pepper, your curry powder, your jerk seasonings, and just a different mix. You can just come down here again.
Yeah.
A lot of spices.
Now, here's something I got to tell you, Jason.
Oh yeah.
I might be Irish.
Yeah.
I use adobo on everything.
Yeah.
Chicken, beef, you name it.
Yeah.
I love adobo. I even put it inside my hamburgers.
It's one of our top selling items, and it does very well.
Yeah.
So and also sazon. Sazon's a very popular item that customers tend to buy here. So Bill, what we do here is a warehouse, rice warehouse stacking area where we carry all different types of rices, and all these rices are discounted because we buy in bulk.
The bulk.
And what we do for our customers is give them the best price in Brockton that they can find in rice, and then that's something.
So
that
this
we
is
value
for
ourselves by.
families. Now, so what is this right here that I'm looking
So what
at?
we do is, like I said, we buy in bulk, so then we can package for our customers and be able to offer them a discount.
But you also offer wholesale too, then, or wholesale quantities, or no?
If a customer or a restaurant comes in, they would buy some wholesale directly on the premises, but not going around and selling wholesale. But we would provide that service if our customers.
But this just, I guess, indicates how much volume you do around rice and beans.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, I like both. I love pastels. We actually had pastels for lunch one day last week in the mayor's office. So
How was it?
Awesome. I think I ate more than anybody. I'm a huge believer in the pastels.
And it's good price.
But this is, we're filming this in the early part of the day in the morning, so what you have out right now is some of your items, not necessarily everything that would be out at dinner time.
Yes. So we serve lunch at 10:30.
Okay.
So this is what we carry from 8 to 10:30. And once 10:30 comes around, we'll still have the selection. We'll move it over. We have a huge case over here, and we'll carry fish, chicken, beef, maybe 2 types of fish.
So the prepared foods are a big part of your business here.
Prepared food is huge here.
Yeah.
And I think if there's one thing that you would ask me, what separates us from everyone else, is this: we pride ourselves on prepared food, and we pride ourselves on getting better at it each and every day.
So you've got a certain percentage of the customers coming in here are coming in as they would to a takeout restaurant, not necessarily doing their food shopping, but coming in to buy lunch or buy dinner already prepared, ready to eat.
Absolutely, and it's a convenience. It's
right.
local, it's quick, and it's just, you can come on in, grab it. We serve our customers really quick, and we get them in and we get them out. And that's
so is this a little bit of an Americanization of some of this food and culture from Cape Verde? Because I would guess, are there a lot of places we just walk in Cape Verde and buy prepared food, or not so typically?
Well, I think you hit it on the money when you said this, the American way of just grabbing and go. So
right.
You're taking the lifestyle here in America,
right.
You're trying to adapt it to
incorporate it to the cultural foods that people want to eat. Yeah.
Exactly.
And tell us this dish right here. What is that?
So this is cachupa refogado.
Yeah.
If I said it right.
Yeah.
But that's the typical dish in the morning.
Yeah.
And that's just a corned beef stew.
I was going to say, now, cachupa, I've had cachupa before. Very popular in the breakfast places. So for someone Irish like me, the closest comparison is corned beef hash.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a Cape Verdean version of corned beef hash that my family would be familiar with. You know?
I never thought about it in that way, but now that you put it, I think I'm going to have to talk to my customers. I'm describing it and saying it's just like a corned beef hash. I appreciate that.
Yeah. You do have beer and wine here also at Vicente's.
Yes,
And I guess this perhaps is where the cultural aspect comes in a little bit, because wine being a staple of the Cape Verdean culture in terms of having dinner, you probably have a much wider variety of wines here than maybe the average person would expect in a typical supermarket wine department.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't mean to keep repeating, but it's what you mentioned earlier. It's just having the hybrid, having your traditional wine, your traditional beer, and having, you know, the wine and beer that you would have back home.
Yeah.
So we try to carry the selection that our customers are looking for,
Yeah.
and at the right price. And right now we're doing a wine remodel.
Okay.
We just got our license to
Yeah.
expand over to this
Okay.
to this side.
Yeah.
So, but as you can see, we're carrying.
But there's a wide selection of all types of wines.
Yes.
Now, what type of wine would be popular in Cape Verde? If I'm going to visit Cape Verde
Yeah.
next month, when I sit down and have dinner, what type of wine do you think they might put on the table?
Well, what you can see right here, we have wine that's imported. So
Yeah.
you have your Vinho de Fogo, which is very popular, and you have your Porto wine, which
So
is also popular.
this wine is actually produced on Fogo, one of the islands in Cape Verde.
Yeah, I think Santino.
Yes, yeah.
Is the one importing it.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah,
And just your Portuguese wine, also your Vinho Quinado.
Yeah.
Your Dow, and another selection of Vinho Quinado. Those are
So one thing I have noticed, it is interesting, particularly if I go out to some of the Caribbean restaurants, there is some crossover in terms of what's popular between, say, Cape Verdean, Portuguese, and Brazilian. I mean,
Yeah.
the similarities in the cultures.
Yes.
You know, I've been places where they may serve a Brazilian liquor
Yeah.
or Brazilian wine as part of a Cape Verdean meal.
I think it depends on how you grew up on the wine.
Yeah.
So what were you served? You know, at your family dinner.
Yeah.
And that taste just resonates with you over
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And as you get older and you come over here in the States, when you have that same wine that you had at back home, it tends to bring you back.
Yeah.
And that's the feeling that you get having a wine from back home. So
Yeah.
having a wine that connects with the customer, and you
Sure,
know, a wine
yeah.
that they grew up on is very important. to
But
them.
we are in Brockton
Yes.
with our Rocky Marciano and many of our Italian friends.
Yes.
It is important to note he does also carry Carlo Rossi,
Yes,
so
yes.
a little bit of everything for everyone.
And,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's very popular also.
A large section,
Yeah.
a large section. Yeah. So Jason, I want to thank you for taking the time to bring me for the tour through Vicente's Market down here in South Main Street. I think the most exciting thing for me is thinking about your plans for the new Super Vicente's in downtown Brockton on the corner of Warren Avenue and Pleasant Street. I know the plans are well underway. Hopefully at this time next year, you're taking me for a tour of the new Vicente Superstore in downtown Brockton.
Bill, it's not a problem. We're actually excited to walk you around and show you our supermarket, our current supermarket. And once we open up the new supermarket, we're going to be more than glad to walk you around and show you what we have to offer there. And I think what you got here is just a taste of what we're going to offer over at the new supermarket. So we're excited, our family's excited, our customers are excited, and we're just super excited to show the city what we've been working so hard on.
And the new store will be bigger, better, convenient,
Yes.
and provide Brockton jobs for Brockton people, which is something the mayor's always concerned about.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and that's one of our biggest things is providing jobs at the new supermarket, and also being the hub of Brockton and using our supermarket as a focus and as a community center, bringing everyone together and planning and coming up with ideas and all sorts of events. So we really want to use our supermarket not only as a supermarket, but as a hub to bring the community together and really voice their opinion on what's going on. So that's just another piece of what we're trying to bring to the city in this new supermarket.
Well, Jason, it's exciting. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks for
Likewise.
having me to the
Appreciate
store
it.
today.
Thanks for
Thank
coming
you.
down.